Hello students, in this video we are going to learn a new concept, heat. Again, this is middle school physics and developed to secondary school 9th and 10th standard. Now what is heat basically? We say your body is hot or cold, or for example, now we are having winter season. In winter season, we wear woolen clothes. Why? Because we feel cold. So, how do we know that we feel cold? How do we know that? Because the temperature is low. You see, there is another word called temperature. The temperature is low, so you feel cold. Okay, and let us think, we are in the summer month. Right? In summer month, sun is shining so well and it is scorching sun and the heat is more heat. You feel it's very hot, and that time we say the temperature is high temperature. So what we understand from this? Heat and temperature are interrelated. Somehow heat, when I say heat, it is something saying about temperature, or temperature means you can say the body is hot or cold. Okay, now let us see how it has been interconnected. For example, in the cold season, what do we prefer to have? We prefer to have hot chai, right? You take a hot cup of chai in the morning. Now, let us say I am going to have a hot cup of chai in the morning, let us say, right? Why should I take hot? Because when my body is cold, and I take a hot chai. So hot chai will have high temperature, and my body is cold, so it is in low temperature. So what will happen when the chai goes in, when the tea goes in? What will happen? The body heat, the heat temperature will rise. From the low, the temperature will rise, because the high chai from higher temperature gives out its heat and it goes to the low temperature, and the low temperature rises up. Okay, now you see, heat is now flowing. What is flowing? Heat. Heat is, in a very simple terms, heat is a form of energy. Now we will find out what is energy in some other video. Just to simply we will say heat is a form of energy. Right? Now that energy, how does that energy flow? It flows from a higher temperature to lower temperature, so that my body comes to normal temperature. I feel comfortable, right? So temperature decides the flow of heat. The temperature will decide whether it always flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. The flow of heat is decided by temperature. Let us take another example. We are in the hot season. Okay, in the hot season, what we do? Let me erase this part now. Okay, in the hot season, we take a cool drink, right? Sprite or something, whatever you say, you take a cold drink, right? Or you say cool drinks you take it. Okay, now cool drink is what? Low temperature, right? And in the summer season, we are talking about summer season. In summer season, I have taken, let us say, 600 ml of Sprite or whatever it is, Coca-Cola or Thumbs Up or anything you like it, right? This is cold, which is in low temperature. My body is hot. In summer month, my body is hot. So I take a sip of this, right? And it goes into my body, which is in higher temperature. It is in higher temperature. So what will happen? Higher temperature will absorb this low cold drink, right? And our body temperature will come to normal, right? And this body will lose temperature and it will come down and we will reach a normal temperature, body temperature, that is makes us feel comfortable. Again you see, heat is flowing from where? Higher temperature to lower temperature, right? Higher temperature, my body, it loses the heat. Where does it lose the heat? To the cold drink. That cold drink is coming, my body is hot and that heat goes into the cold body, right? And I feel comfortable after drinking a glass or a glass of Sprite or whatever the cool drink which we take, the cold drink we take. Is it okay? So, what decides the flow of heat? Yes, let me erase this and let me write here what are the factors. Okay. The flow of heat is decided by the temperature, right? It is dependent by the temperature. And heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay? Higher temperature to lower temperature. It is not vice versa. Low temperature, no, it cannot possible. Always from high to low. How does water flow in a river? How does the water flow? Because you see, for example, there is a hill or something, there is a spring somewhere, from there the water is flowing down in the river because this is at a higher height and this is at a lower height. So the water is flowing and gravity also is pulling it downward. Like that, water flows in a river from higher level to lower level. Like that, heat also flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Keep this in mind. So this is the basic of heat and temperature connected together. Now we will see, how do we measure temperature? What is the instrument which we use to measure temperature? And what is the scale which we use to measure temperature? Then you may think, what is temperature? We can define temperature as degree of hotness or coldness of a body, right? See, temperature, we define it as degree of hotness or coldness, right? Whether a body is hot or cold, that is desired. The degree of hotness or coldness is called temperature. And heat is a form of energy and it is decided by the temperature. The flow of heat is decided by the temperature. Heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature, right? Now what is the unit of heat? I said heat is a form of energy. The unit of energy is joule. It is joule. Joule, joule. Okay, we can say 100 joule of energy, okay, or 300 joule of energy. That also you can use something called calorie, right? Calorie, C-A-L, you write it, or kilocalorie, right? Where do we use calorie? You know the food we eat, how many calories? People are nowadays very concerned about their body, right? How much we take the food, right? For example, rice is there and dal is there. You take it, how much of calorie you consume. That means how much energy it requires for the body. So this is also a unit of that, calorie, and joule also is the SI unit, standard unit. Okay, so remember, heat is measured in joule or it is measured in calorie. Now, we are going to discuss about temperature now. Okay? Yeah. Let me now discuss about temperature. Let me come very precise to that concept called temperature. Temperature. Okay? We can measure temperature using a thermometer. Thermometer is the instrument which is used to measure temperature, right? Okay, let me just pull it out little. Yeah. Temperature, thermometer. Now what are the different types of thermometer? We have two types of thermometer. See, when you go to the doctor, right, doctor will have a thermometer. In cities you have digital thermometer. Digital, right? It is a digital thermometer. It will show you the value directly, like you have digital balances. But still people use mercury thermometer, and that is called clinical thermometer. Okay. There are two types of thermometer which we are going to study. One is called clinical thermometer. Okay, thermometer. And you will find that in a clinical thermometer. Yes, I have a clinical thermometer. This uses mercury, right? See, you might have seen this. I don't know whether you can see, it's very small. Okay, in this background you may be able to see. It is a clinical thermometer. It has mercury, it has a bulb, it is made up of glass case, and there is a tiny small thin tube is there, right? And what we do, we go to the doctor will do like this, like this, like this, like this, and keep it below our tongue, okay, to check our body temperature. We have a fever, or they will keep some time for children and all here. So in both ways it is one and the same. It will give you our body temperature. You know, now clinical thermometer. How is the clinical thermometer? I am going to draw a clinical thermometer and explain it to you how it is going to be. Okay, yeah, let me just show you. Let me draw the diagram. It is a glass tube. I am drawing big for you, and it has a small bulb down, and there is a closure here, okay, and there is a thin tube. Let me close it here. Small thing here I will draw, right? There is a thin tube inside, okay. And in addition to that, in the clinical thermometer, there is a small bend here, right? There is a small bend, and this bend is called kink. It is called kink. Okay, now mercury is the liquid which we are going to use it in this thermometer, right? Mercury is the liquid, okay. This is mercury. This is the bulb. Inside the bulb there is mercury. Now, and here you will have scale, right? The temperature scale will be there. You have two types of scale. One is called Fahrenheit scale and another is called Celsius scale, right? Now first, in this clinical thermometer we use Fahrenheit. Is a scientist name, okay? Fahrenheit temperature. So thermometer, that degree F, like, okay, this is a scale. Okay, now what is the value? It will start here. Yes, it will start from 32 degree Fahrenheit and it will go till 212 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so this is the value you should remember. And later we will do numerical, then you will understand. And it is divided into equal parts. Okay, it is divided into 180 parts, right? And this is a clinical thermometer. Nowadays, clinical thermometer is having digital measurement you can make with that. Okay, so when we put this in mouth, or keep it here under our armpit, what will happen? The mercury, because of the heat, what the heat can do? It can expand or contract. Okay, it can, cold means it will contract, it will expand, right? It will change the shape, it will change the size, it will expand, and slowly mercury will rise to this level, and you can see this much is the mercury level. Then what will happen? Doctor will take it out from your mouth and they will check it. Yes, temperature is high, 101 degree Fahrenheit. That means you have fever, high fever. Then doctor will give you medicine, right? See, normal temperature should be 98.6 Fahrenheit or 98.4 degree Fahrenheit. This is the correct value, somewhere near 0.4 or 0.6 it can be, right? But when it is 100, temperature is more. 101, it's very much high. 102, 103, temperature is increasing. Then the thermometer will show you the temperature, body temperature, right? Now, why there is a bend here? Why there is a kink here? Now, let me again take the thermometer. What will happen? Very carefully, let me handle it. Yes, now I put it in mouth and I gave it to the doctor or the nurse. Nurse saw this. Yes, temperature is 98.4 it is given here, normal temperature, if I am not wrong. Yes, 98.4, right? That the temperature is gone up. If the mercury is not hot, what will happen? It will contract. First it expanded due to heat. Now it is cold. When it comes out, it is cold, right? And the mercury will fall down. But how will I check the thermometer value? So the kink is there, the bend is there. It will stop the mercury from falling down into the bulb for some time. It will hold it for some few minutes, seconds, we can hold it, so we can read the temperature, and then what we do like this, like this, like this, and so that mercury goes into the bulb, so that for the next person, when we check the temperature, then it will be in proper order, so that we can check properly. So that is the purpose of a kink in the case of a mercury, in the case of a clinical thermometer. So what is the unit which we are going to use here? Fahrenheit. And what is the normal body temperature in Fahrenheit? 98.4 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so this is the normal egg temperature, the thermometer. Now, from here I move to another type of thermometer, and that is called lab thermometer. Lab or laboratory. Okay, lab thermometer, laboratory thermometer. This is something different. Okay, now it is going to use another unit. Okay, it's going to use a different unit, that is normally we say Celsius scale. Again, it's a scientist. Okay, Celsius scale. So this is laboratory thermometer. I'm going to show you a laboratory thermometer. Yeah, okay, you see here, this is a laboratory thermometer. I hope you can see here, yellow colored is there, right? Yes, here also there is mercury here. When I touch this, you see slowly the mercury is rising up. Okay, so I'm going to draw a mercury, a laboratory thermometer. Okay, this, how is this laboratory thermometer is going to be? I'm going to draw it to you and I'm going to show it to you. Okay, yeah. Just a second, I have a small doubt with the spelling of Celsius. I think it should be CIUS if I'm not wrong. Just a minute, let me check it. Okay, Celsius scale, right? Celsius, correct. Okay, Celsius is correct. I thought this should be yes. Centigrade. It can be also centigrade. Both are one and the same. Degree centigrade or degree Celsius, you can say. Both are one and the same. Now let me draw the diagram for you. For example, where we use this thermometer, for example, temperature of a city, Hyderabad, 35 degrees Celsius, right? Or for example, Kashmir, 15 degrees Celsius in the summer month. In winter, you will find that -4 degrees Celsius. Hyderabad, 21 degrees Celsius. Chennai or Delhi, the values will all are represented in degree Celsius. Okay, now or centigrade also common people will use that word. Okay, so let me draw a thermometer. Yes, again there is a bulb, and again there is a thin tube, and I am going to tell you what is the thin tube called. That is called capillary tube. This thin tube, capillary tube, is nothing but hair-like. Okay, it will be just like a hair-like thin tube. It will not be very having a big area of cross section. Be very thin, like a hair-like. Okay, that is a tube is going to be. So I am going to draw the capillary tube. Okay, now thin tube. It is having an outer case, right? And I am going to have mercury inside, and the bulb is there. Yes, mercury, this is bulb, and this is the outer case, and in the outer case you have the values written, right? What is the minimum value? 0 degrees Celsius, and it goes till 100 degrees Celsius, and it is divided into how many parts? It is divided into 100 equal parts. You should know the differences. In clinical thermometer, you started from 32 degree Fahrenheit and it went till 212 degree Fahrenheit, and it was divided into 180 equal parts. But in the case of a lab thermometer, in a lab thermometer, you find it is 0 degrees Celsius and it goes till 100 degrees Celsius. And now, for example, I take a beaker, right, and I place it inside water. The thermometer is immersed in the water, and I heat it here, right? I heat it, and the water will get heated. Slowly, the temperature will rise, and you will find that here also temperature will go on rising 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, like that. And when it comes to 100 degrees Celsius, then the water will start boiling. After that, there is no change in temperature. 100 is the maximum value, and that 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water. Boiling point of water, where it will start boiling and it will change its state to steam, liquid to gas, and 0 degrees Celsius. What is 0 degrees Celsius? It is the melting point. It is the melting point of ice. Ice will melt from 0 degree. From the refrigerator, when you take it out, what will happen? The ice will start melting because of outside temperature, right? And this is boiling point of water. So these two values, 100 degrees Celsius and 0 degrees Celsius, are taken as a reference to make this thermometer. And how many divisions it is having? 100 equal parts are having. So our normal human temperature, body temperature, is 37 degrees Celsius. This is the normal body human temperature. 23, 24, 25 temperature, outside temperature may vary. And again, outside temperature may be during hot season 40, 42. If you go to Rajasthan, 45, 46 degree it goes, right? But normal human body temperature is usually 37 degrees Celsius. But the same thing in Fahrenheit scale, it is 98.4 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so I hope you understand. It consists of a glass tube, outer case, and inside there is a thin glass tube, and that tube is called capillary tube. It is so thin, it is hair-like, and that's called capillary tube. And the liquid we use is mercury, but mercury is very costly, so nowadays we also use alcohol in laboratory thermometer. Alcohol Okay, alcohol is a red color, it will be. Some of the thermometers nowadays you get with alcohol. It is cheap, it is not so costly, whereas mercury is very costly. If you break it, you know, glass, if you break it suddenly, when you do an experiment, suddenly if you break it, then what will happen? The whole mercury will get spread everywhere. It is not good actually. It is very reactive. If you touch with gold or something, the gold will get totally lose its property. Gold will melt actually. The gold will lose its property. Just it will become copper. You know, the copper in sense, what is the base metal? You know, it will just get spoiled, full of stains it will be, right? So we have to handle this with care. So usually you'll find that alcohol, which is in reddish color, that is also used. So in this video, dear students, I have tried to give you basic physics, right? You can see all these videos in the playlist. You go to the playlist. In the playlist, I am putting it under basic physics, okay, and you will find that all related topics are there one by one. I am doing it now. Now today I have taught you heat, hot or cold. Now what are the properties of heat? What all the effects of heat? One, it can change the temperature. Heat can change the temperature, hot or cold. Two, it can cause expansion. Or cold, it can cause contraction. That is second point. And third, it can change the states of matter. You can see my video, states of matter. Okay, states of matter. Okay, in this video, you will understand how a body changes from one state to another, right? Solid to liquid to gas. It will help you, right? Thank you so much.